Carlson and Don Lemon were both fired. No one is talking about this. They don't want you to know the truth.
Yeah, the truth. Oh.
Disappointed not to see a YouTube recommendation to click on. Are you responding to Tucker Carlson's keynote at Heritage?
Is combo with Chank happening IRL or on stream? I feel like it'd probably be on stream unless I flew to LA for it. It would have to be a bigger thing if I do that.
Destiny look like you're more joy.
Oh, I wonder if the Dominion lawsuit had to do with it, maybe.
Destiny DGGL. We just need Destiny to stream more on YouTube. Church-going conservative here. Been enjoying some of your recent commentary on the self-actualization. Crisis in America, I don't think it is just an issue of the left. No, we likely disagree on the solution, but appreciate you looking at it head-on.
We pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. I could really use a wish right now. Wish right now. Wish right now. We pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. I could really use a wish rig.
Whose voice is that? There's Elon.
MAGA gang airing this bitch Tucker Carlson out of the media. Oh, this motherfucker saying he hates me in private messages like a bitch. Who do you hate again? That's right, get the fuck out of here. MAGA.
Call out Hassan for lying about rescuing his dog when he obviously bought it from a breeder. Listen. Maybe he just happened to adopt like the most expensive breed of dog in the world, you know? He just found one for free, you know?
And the right wing's like, yes, I love how they molest the little kids.
Oh, I remember this. Five months old. How do you have this saved?
And the right wing's like, yes, I love how they molest the little kids like that. Go get them, Boy Scouts. Go get them, priests. Please vote for our molesters and our pedophiles, Republicans say. Republicans, you're guilty, okay? And I'll tell you right now, the #1 reason they constantly talk about pedophilia is because it's going
I'm sure he probably knows, right?
through their heads. Non-stop they're thinking about kids. I guarantee it. The reason Tim Pool wears a beanie is because he's trying to contain the pedophilia that's in his head. That's why he's always talking about it. He's seeing it everywhere.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dude. Just stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak man, like for real. Lakers in 5.
Because he's projecting. And the right wing's like, yes, I love how they molest the little kids like that.
Jesus.
Hasn't rescued that dog from having to live in a measly $2 million mansion. Imagine how bad it could have been for that puppy.
true. When you can talk about the real movement, the hot hatch movement, they weigh less, don't die. They weigh less and the engines are becoming more power, so they're fast and reliable and they save gas. Yeah. Shout out to my Focus RS, Civic, Supra, Mazda, and VW hatch drivers. Yeah. Please read this.
Your mama.
Give us 5 minutes on Sudan.
The fighting in Sudan is a power struggle. It's a power struggle between two men. One is Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. He's the general who has been head of the Sudanese armed forces for the past few years, and he's also basically the leader of the country. He looks pretty much like a guy who's trying to ensconce himself as a dictator for life. The other guy is Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, popularly known as Hemeti. He calls himself Hemeti, everybody calls him Hemeti. He is the leader of the Rapid Support Forces, which is a vast and extremely powerful militia group that is importantly outside the command of the regular armed forces, and that's allowed Hemeti to make himself power broker in his own right. He controls a large chunk of the economy, especially the gold trade, and he is effectively, or he was, until this fighting started, Burhan's effective deputy, the effective vice president. But it's pretty clear his end goal is to be the indisputed ruler of Sudan as well. So basically what you've got is a fight to the death, it looks like, between two men who've basically decided there's only room for one of them in Khartoum and in Sudan. So the Rapid Support Forces grew out of what was called the Janjaweed militia, and they were pro-government militias, mostly raised to suppress an uprising in Darfur, which turned into a huge and very, very bloody war in the 2000s. Hemeti was one of the commanders of the Janjaweed. And to kind of understand how we got to today, you have to go back to 2013 when the dictator of Sudan, a guy called Omar Bashir, took these Janjaweed guys and reformed them. He made Mr. Hemeti a lieutenant general, and he made them answerable directly to himself. Fast forward to 2019, when you get a huge, basically a massive civilian uprising, pro-democracy protests in Khartoum. Hemeti did a deal with al-Burhan then. The army and the RSF backed the protesters. They arrested Mr. Bashir, and a revolution was proclaimed. You did get a transitional government, but both Mr. Hemeti, representing the RSF, Mr. Burhan, representing the army, were in very influential positions in that. And then 2021, they do a full coup of their own and basically put themselves in charge of the country. And so it felt to lots of people like someday this showdown was going to come. So the trigger for conflict, it's a little bit complicated. The immediate trigger was this discussion of something that diplomats call security sector reform. Basically, security sector reform is how do you get the army out of politics and how do you defang the RSF. Now, part of this is that the RSF should be folded into the regular armed forces. The regular armed forces become led by a civilian government, like in any other country. General al-Burhan wanted that done quickly. He wanted them folded into the regular armed forces in 2 years. Hemeti said, no. It's a very big job, 10-year timetable. And as this dispute escalated, you began to see troops being moved around Khartoum. The army blamed the RSF for massing troops near an airbase near Khartoum. And then, bang, overnight on Friday, Saturday morning, the fighting began. Having conversations with people in Khartoum over the phone, there's no way to downplay the horror of what is happening. The reports are consistent as well. If you go out in the streets, you're quite likely to get shot. No one seems to care whether they're shooting at a civilian. The Rapid Support Forces in particular have begun taking over buildings, guys coming into houses, pointing machine guns at them, at the owners, the occupiers, the caretakers. A lot of reports actually of rape and sexual violence. So sheer lawlessness in the streets of Khartoum. And then you've got a huge amount of international diplomacy going on. You've got different states competing for influence in Sudan. And of course, that's true. It's rich. It's got a lot of resources. It's in a really important part of Africa. And so Sudan is a great prize. Some people have talked a lot about Russia and Wagner. Hemeti's RSF have done business with Wagner. He is known to have become wealthy from gold mining. His forces provide security for a gold mine run by Wagner in Sudan. But look, he's not alone. And Mr. Burhan has also visited Moscow and has also done deals with the Russians. So I would be wary of drawing a conclusion that one side is backed perhaps by Russia and the other side is backed by the West. I think actually if you look at the behavior of all the outside players here, they tend to hedge their bets. They don't want to back the losing horse, and it's not entirely clear which the losing horse is going to be yet.
Wow. Guy shoots AK up in the air and loses control, not safe for life.
Let's talk about what's happening in Sudan.
Rival forces remain locked in a power struggle despite international calls.
Did he hit anybody? Holy shit. Let's post on Myron's Weinstein moment. I saw somebody posted about it, but I haven't looked at it now.
For Senk, ask him about forming the Justice Democrats, how they chose candidates, how successful he feels it went, and how he feels since being ousted. Also ask him what lessons he learned from his congressional campaigns.
Come to find out, this man's telling girls in the DMs that it's
Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Wait, have we watched this video before?
Our nation needs destiny. Despite his
Hello? Sorry, I just noticed my OBS went weird. The woman in question for the Myron stuff.
A quick video about the whole.
Oof. Are we back? Is that okay now? Fox News and Tucker Carlson, the right-wing extremist who hosted the network's highly rated 8 p.m. hour, have severed ties. The network said in a stunning announcement on Monday. Monday's shocking announcement that Fox had parted ways with Carlson appeared to come abruptly. Tucker Carlson was informed Monday morning that Fox News had decided to part ways with the primetime host, according to a source familiar with the matter. The person, who is not authorized to speak publicly on the matter, declined to further elaborate about the abrupt end to the right-wing host's employment at the network. Carlson will not have a final farewell show. Instead, his last program on the network aired Friday. Jesus. Just prior to the network's announcement, Fox had been promoting on its air a Monday night interview by Carlson with GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy? Jesus. Ramaswamy? And on Carlson's Friday show, he concluded the program saying, "We'll be back on Monday." The announcement came 1 week after...
The deep state cut me off, but I will say it, Agent. Our nation needs Destiny, despite his blue hair, which is worse for ratings, to respond to the claims in the Tucker Carlson keynote.
The announcement came 1 week after Fox News settled a monster defamation lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems for $787.5 million USD over the network's dissemination of election lies. Fox News said that Carlson's last show was Friday, April 21st. Carlson was a top promoter of conspiracy theories and radical rhetoric at the network. Not only did he repeatedly sow doubt about the legitimacy of the 2020 election, but he also... Does the but belong here? Not only did they do this, they also did this. Not only did they do this, but they also did this. But he also promoted conspiracy theories about the COVID-19 vaccines and elevated white nationalist talking points. Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the Anti-Defamation League, praised Fox News' decision, saying it's about time that for far too long, Tucker Carlson has used his primetime show to spew anti-Semitic, racist, xenophobic, and anti-LGBT hate to millions. Who cares about... Why is this guy quoted here? A top conspiracy theorist. Tucker Carlson... Oh, we'll read it. Tucker Carlson was a key figure in Dominion Voting Systems' mammoth defamation lawsuit against Fox News, which the parties settled last week on the brink of trial for a historic $787 million. In some ways, Carlson played an outsized role in the litigation. Only one of the 20 allegedly defamatory Fox broadcasts mentioned in the lawsuit came from Carlson's top-rated show. But, as CNN exclusively reported, he was set to be one of Dominion's first witnesses to testify at trial, and his private text messages, which became public as part of the suit, reverberated nationwide. Sorry. Dominion got its hands on Carlson's group chat. Oh, when the group chat leaks, boys. Dominion got its hands on Carlson's group chat with fellow Fox primetime stars Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham. Is it Ingram or Ingraham? I think it's Ingram, right? Destiny, I think you have some important people that watch your stream. A Senate staffer called me today regarding my case. I'm doubtful it would go anywhere because I've worked with this office before, but I'm still interested to know that they were triggered to reach out due to my blabbering on a stream. Thanks again. Oh, well, cool. Thanks, Echo. And a trove of other messages from around the 2020 presidential election. These communications reveal that Carlson told confidants that he passionately hated former President Donald Trump and that Trump's tenure in the White House was a disaster. He also used misogynistic terms to criticize pro-Trump
finally,
lawyer...
a YT stream. I haven't seen you in so long. Destiny DGGL.
Nice. Pro-Trump lawyer Sidney Powell and rejected her conspiracies about the 2020 election, even as those wild theories got airtime on Fox News. The lawsuit exposed how Carlson privately held a wholly different view than his on-air persona. A Dominion spokesperson did not comment on Carlson's departure from Fox. But it's unclear if Carlson's departure is directly connected to the Dominion case or other lawsuits related to Fox's election denialism. The statement that Fox issued Monday didn't offer any explanation for Carlson's departure. In the 2 years since the attack on the U.S. Capitol, the Fox primetime host used his huge platform to amplify paper-thin theories that the attack was a false flag operation orchestrated by the FBI and government agents because they loathed Trump, and that the criminal rioters were themselves the victims. The baseless theory originated from a right-wing website, and Carlson catapulted it into the mainstream by repeatedly featuring it on his show. He routinely suggested that Capitol rioters and Trump supporter Ray Epps was actually an FBI provocateur who sparked the deadly riot. In a 60 Minutes interview that aired Sunday night, Epps had this to say about Carlson's lies. He's obsessed with me. He's going to any means possible to destroy my life and our lives. Carlson's disinformation campaign about January 6th reached its apex just a few months ago with an assist from the newly installed House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a California Republican. The top-rated Fox host obtained and aired never-before-seen footage from Capitol security cameras, but the clips were cherry-picked and selectively edited. He said on his program that he ran the tapes by the U.S. Capitol Police before airing the material, but they disputed the claim. Behind-the-scenes allegations. Abby Grossberg, the ex-Fox News producer who has since disavowed the network, claimed in recent lawsuits that there was rampant sexism and misogyny among Tucker Carlson's show team. Last month, she sued Fox News, Carlson, his executive producer Justin Wells, and other figures, as well as Fox's parent corporation. Ooh, boom, 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 boom. Okay, sorry. Boom, 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 boom. Why are you guys typing chatting? Notice how this is no link to evidence of any of this conversation taking place. Wait, which conversation? You mean the leaked one? Oh. Do you think they're just making it up? Please watch this 1 hour video on critical race theory by Short Fat Attack. 1 hour video. You're going to make me do this right now? Did you see the trailer for this hyper-realistic game made in Unreal Engine 5? Good one. I hope you're not linking the thing that everybody's been talking about for... Grossberg, who joined Carlson's team after the 2020 election, said in her lawsuit that after her first day on the job, that it became apparent how pervasive the misogyny and drive to embarrass and objectify women was among the male staff at TCT, referring to Tucker Carlson Tonight. The lawsuit also claimed that Grossberg alerted Wells to some of the inappropriate and harassing conduct that she endured while working at the show, but he brushed aside her concerns, according to court filings. Fox News is aggressively fighting 2 lawsuits from Grossberg. A Fox spokesperson previously said the lawsuits were riddled with false allegations against the network and our employees. In a lawsuit filed last month, Grossberg said Carlson was very capable of using such disgusting language about women in the workplace. She cited some of Carlson's private texts where he used the phrase cunt to refer to Trump lawyer Sidney Powell, a top 2020 election denier. Meh. Her lawsuits also described seeing sexually suggestive posters that were visible in the workplace, facing uncomfortable sexual questions from Wells about her former Fox News boss, Maria Bartiromo, and witnessing internal debates on which women politicians were more fuckable. Jesus. "3 minutes and 50 seconds explains that 1 hour video into a song and truth."
Well, there's a lot going on in the news. A lot of people are pretty concerned about a theory. I'm white, but I'm no blank slate. A lot of ideas delineate Nate. Middle class, cis white male, kinda straight. A cracker on the platter with the appetizer plate of the United States. And in that space, what shall I say as I raise my pale face to gaze on the pains that my ancestors placed on the land I come from? Can I love my own
Anyone
race?
that
So
thinks
let's talk
Tucker
race.
Carlson is finished is a fool. The Little Fox logo is not what gets him millions of viewers everywhere. Let the trad media host transformation to influencer commence.
Right on this track, what is this construct of white race and black and all in between? Let us say clearly what this all means. It's critical race theory, it's the CRT. Oh shit, why dude? You're gonna explain this to me? You're a white dude. Aren't you the reason it's needed? Why do it?
Okay, I'm good. Her lawsuits also describe seeing sexually suggestive posters that were visible in the workplace, blah, blah, blah. In a TV interview, she said the sexual harassment was so bad that she considered suicide. Wells was well aware of the massive impact he and Carlson had on GOP politics, according to Gressberg's lawsuit. She quoted a November 2022 editorial meeting where Wells allegedly said they had the power to select the 2024... I don't know if it's a I don't know if this necessarily ties into the Tucker Carlson story. This is all kind of like spun in here. Are we supposed to... It feels like they're trying to subtly suggest that like these two things are tied together, which they might be, but they might not be. I don't know. It's kind of weird that... I don't know. Don't care.
I find your explanation
According to the New York Times, this interview that Don Lemon conducted last week with Vivek Ramaswamy played a role in his firing. Note, co-host Poppy Harlow is sitting silently while Lemon goes after Vivek.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was
black
part of what
people,
secured
hang on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on one second. So to say that black people, say what you said again?
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War as a hit.
Why are you talking like this? It's okay to have an opinion, but why would CNN, a left-leaning publication, that's what you meant to say, known for pandering to their audience by distorting factual information? Kyle Rittenhouse, did CNN post information distorting factual information? Or are you conflating shit that pundits said on air, which was admittedly stupid, with like actual news stories? Lie about a Republican news anchor? It's not like any news company has anything to gain from lying,
stolen
right?
laptop neighbors, Wi-Fi GigaChad.
Okay.
Historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They
That's
were
a
not
fact.
secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction, you're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to
And you know
happen
how they
after the
got
Civil
it?
War
They got their
and
Second Amendment
Reconstruction.
rights, and they actually got, the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the
NRA did not play a big role
absolutely,
in
they
that.
trained
That
black Americans
is
how to
a
use
lie.
firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The
it's
NRA
actually-
did not play a big role in
This
that.
is just historical fact. But
It's
Don,
not historical fact.
the part that I
Just
find
because you say it's historical
the
fact,
part that
it's
I
not
find
historical
insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have
The
gone
fact
through
that I find
civil rights
insulting
revolution
is
in this
that
country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the
Okay, I hate this. I don't like this anymore. Don't do this anymore, okay? Listen, okay? Just because you're black doesn't mean you know shit about fucking black history in the United States, okay? Like, when people are like, well, as an African American, the historical record is actually inscribed on my DNA, right between Jay-Z and Tupac. Like, what the, come on. Give the arguments. If you want to give the arguments, give it. But don't, we're 1 minute into this and we're already, well, maybe the interview is longer. We don't need the grandstanding, okay? As an African American, I don't need, like, come on, bro. Just get to your point. Say your point.
the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I
know
have a
the
different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without
shouldn't
me
express your
regarding
views,
you as a
but I think
black
it's
man,
insulting that
but
you're
me
sitting
regarding you
here,
as a fellow citizen.
that you're
That's what I
sitting
think we should
here,
see.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
Whatever ethnicity I am,
about
I'll
what
tell
it's
you.
like to be black in
Whatever
America.
ethnicity I am,
I'm
I'll tell
sorry.
you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate black.
When he says Indian American, he means like from India, right? Not like Native American, Indigenous American, Indian American, right?
white doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
the content of the
If you're going
ideas.
to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay? We appreciate you coming on.
With
Thank
due
you for
respect,
that.
Don, I look forward to
Thank you very
continuing
much.
that
I appreciate
conversation.
it. We'll
Thank
continue
you.
the conversation.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Pop.
We'll talk about China.
Yes, let's talk about China.
Next time you come back.
Oh, thank you. Much to say on declaring independence from China.
Okay,
Something you
can
can
we
add
move
on
on now, please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, he got fired for this interview? His name suggests he's from India? Oh, true, actually. True. Don Lemon says he's been fired from his post at CNN's CNN This Morning, which he co-anchored with Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow for about 6 months. The former anchor was on air. I was informed this morning by my agent that I've been terminated by CNN. I am stunned. He's got fired because he's a fucking piece of shit and has been for years. You can't just say Indian American because he might be Pakistani or some shit. Wouldn't that just be like a Pakistani American? What? Or do people call Pakistani people Indians? I don't understand what that comment is. Who said that? What the fuck was that comment? I don't know. It's JSTLK. I'm saying Don Lemon couldn't assume the guy's ethnicity. Oh, sure. It was also for the sexist comments against Haley. He said she was past her prime and women peak in their 20s and 30s. Okay. Yeah, this is the fairness doctrine in action. Don Lemon's misogyny at CNN exposed. Malicious texts, mocking female coworkers, and diva-like behavior. Oh my god, I'm so curious what happened here. Did we didn't, I don't think we've watched this so far, have we? He was slowly being deplatformed for the past few months. From being an anchor, he became a morning host, and I was finally sacked. The CEO is getting rid of crappy people. Damn, that means space for me! Don Lemon's statement about this morning's events is inaccurate. He was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter. Oh! Another big blow against people saying Twitter is not real life. In some ways, Twitter is more real than real life. I suggest you go and research something called hyperreality. Here we are. Twitter.